All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful tools out there for building modern apps that can scale, Amazon DynamoDB. We're going to break down how it works, from the very basics all the way up to its planet-spanning features. So let's start from square one and see how you can take an application truly global. I mean, this is the big question, right? This is the challenge that developers run up against every single day. You're building a game, an e-commerce platform, whatever. Your users expect it to be lightning fast and seamless, no matter where they are in the world. And that exact challenge is why DynamoDB even exists.
And yeah, that really is the modern app challenge. The internet never closes, it has no borders, so you need a database that was built for that 24/7 reality. Something that can handle these massive, unpredictable traffic spikes and millions of requests a second without even breaking a sweat.
So what is this thing? Well, at its heart, DynamoDB is a NoSQL database. Now, if you're used to those traditional databases that look like a rigid spreadsheet, NoSQL is a whole different ballgame. It's more like a super flexible filing system, and it's designed for one main reason: to deliver consistent, single-digit millisecond performance. We're talking about response times so fast that they're literally imperceptible. Okay, so how on earth does it pull off that kind of speed and scale? Well, it all starts with its foundation, which is incredibly flexible. And this is where it really veers away from those older database technologies. The key concept to wrap your head around is that DynamoDB is schemaless. Just forget about those rigid tables where every single row has to have the exact same columns. With DynamoDB, every item, even in the same table, can have its own unique structure. This gives you, the developer, enormous flexibility to change your application over time without those painful late-night database migrations. And check this out, this slide just shows that flexibility perfectly. You've got two items here from the same product catalog table. Item 1 looks like a normal product, right? It's got a price, a quantity, but look at item 2. It's missing attributes, and its price is a word. It's the string hello. In a traditional database, this would just be impossible. It would throw an error. In DynamoDB, it's just another day at the office. Okay, so storing your data is flexible, it's easy, awesome. But what about getting it back out? I mean, if you've got billions of items, you need a way to find exactly what you're looking for, and you need it instantly. And this slide, wow, it brilliantly illustrates the two ways to do that. A query is like using the index in the back of a book. It's surgical, it's hyper-efficient, fast and cheap, because it goes directly to the data you need using what's called a primary key. A scan, on the other hand, well, that's like reading the entire book, from page 1 all the way to the end just to find one single sentence. It works, sure, but it is slow, incredibly inefficient, and it can get really expensive when you're dealing with a lot of data. But that leads to a really critical question, doesn't it? The main index of our book is organized by one thing, that primary key. But what if you need to look up info in a different way? What if you need another index, maybe one organized by a different attribute altogether? And that's exactly what a secondary index is for. It's like asking the author to add a second index to the book. Maybe this one is organized by character names instead of chapter numbers. DynamoDB literally builds and maintains this alternate index for you, creating brand new, super efficient ways to query your data. So let's see how this plays out. Creating what's called a global secondary index, or a GSI, is really just a simple three-step process. First, you just pick the attributes you want for your new key, like, say, game title and top score for leaderboard. Second, DynamoDB does all the heavy lifting in the background, building and maintaining that new index for you. And third, you can now run lightning-fast queries against that GSI to find, for example, the top scores for a specific game. Now, you've got two main flavors of these indexes. A global secondary index, the GSI, is the most flexible. Think of it as a completely new, separate filing cabinet for your entire dataset, just organized in a different way. A local secondary index, or LSI, is a bit more specialized. It helps you sort the files within a single drawer of your main cabinet, making it faster to find things that are already grouped together. All right, we've covered speed, we've covered flexibility. Now let's tackle the last big hurdle for modern applications: geography. How do you serve a global user base and give every single person that same amazing low latency experience? The answer is global tables. And honestly, this feature it's just a total game changer. It's a fully managed system that copies your table across multiple AWS regions around the world, and it turns it into what's called a multi-active database. So let's just walk through this, because this is where the magic really happens. Imagine a user in North America writes a new piece of data. That's the checkmark you see under US East. Instantly, DynamoDB automatically replicates that data to the other regions, to Frankfurt and to Tokyo. So now, when users in Europe or Asia need to read that same piece of data, they get it from their local copy, giving them the fastest possible response. It's absolutely perfect for something like a global leaderboard in a game. Every player sees the updates instantly, no matter where they are. It's incredible. So the big takeaway here is this. With just a few clicks, your application can become globally distributed. Your users, everywhere, get to read and write data to the data center that's closest to them, which is the absolute key to a fantastic user experience at global scale. Okay, so beyond the fundamentals of speed and scale, DynamoDB also gives you some really advanced tools for building those sophisticated, mission-critical apps that need absolute data integrity. A perfect example of this is atomic transactions. Think about a simple bank transfer. You need to take money out of one account and put it into another. Both of those actions have to succeed, or they both have to fail together. You can't have one without the other. Well, a transaction wraps all those steps into a single, all-or-nothing operation, guaranteeing your data stays consistent always. And then you've got DynamoDB streams. This is so cool. It's like having a live, real-time feed, a ticker tape of every single change that's made to your data as it happens. You can hook this stream up to other services like AWS Lambda to build these really powerful event-driven applications that react to data changes the very instant they occur. So let's tie this all together. When you start combining all these features, what you end up with is a really comprehensive solution for almost any scalable data challenge you could dream up. So what have we seen? We've got a flexible schema so your application can evolve. We've got precise instant data access with queries and indexes. Then we have that incredible global reach with global tables. You can layer on ironclad data integrity using transactions. And you can build reactive, modern systems with streams. It really is the whole package. With tools this powerful, the barriers between your idea and a globally skilled reality are smaller than they have ever been. So the only question left is, well, it's the most exciting one. What are you going to build? Thanks so much for tuning in.